And we are live. Hey, it's Sarah Clay and my very, very good friend and my book coach, Marlena. Oh, pronounce your name because I always get it wrong.
Marlena Benson.
Hey. So I'm just going to come into the comment section. And we have somebody here already.
That's exciting. I see congratulations coming in already.
They're coming in. This is brilliant. So we are here to promote, pre-launch my book, which I'm so excited about. But I wanted to introduce you to my amazing book coach, Marlena, because I could not have done this without her.
Thank you.
And we are going to talk about the process of writing a book, as well as what the book contains and what it's for. And I'm going to hand over to, I'm going to say hello. I have to lean forward because the camera's quite a long way away, to Julia Flower, Kate Porter, Julia Gregory. Thank you so much for your lovely messages. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to hand over to Marlena.
So do you want to start by telling how the two of us met?
Yes, I do. I do. We met 2 years ago, I guess.
I think it was.
Yeah. In San Diego. Sounds terribly glamorous. It was glamorous. At a conference called Social Media Marketing World. And a marketing conference. Oh my gosh, the chat's going crazy. Marketing conference in San Diego that I've been to a few times, as have you, I think.
And I actually just saw we have Lisa there who introduced us.
No.
Yeah, Lisa Kennedy. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. Hey. And then Nat is here, and Jackie and Kevin D. Turner is here, and Sue Beckingham, Maria Wolf, Scott Matthews, Kim West. Oh my gosh, he's gone mad. Thanks, guys. So that's where we met, and introduced by Lisa at Social Media Marketing World. Very timely.
Yes. So tell us the story, Sarah. Why did you choose to write a book?
So I wasn't going to write a book ever. It was never anything that I thought I could do. I mean, I've got a bookshelf of signed books written by people that I know, and I never ever thought that it would be anything I could do. Just didn't think it was a thing that I was capable of doing. So I was running a workshop at Social Media Marketing World, which was an incredible thing to do. I was running a LinkedIn workshop as I was invited to do so by Mike Stelzner, who runs the show. And I said to Mike, okay, you were obviously very happy with the workshop. He got some very good feedback. And I said, but Mike, I want to be on your stage, ballsy. And he said in his amazing accent, which I won't even try to repeat, Sarah, you will never be on my stage unless you write a book. That told me. So literally about an hour later, I'm thinking, I've got to write a book. I bump into this lady. How crazy is that?
It was destiny.
It was destiny. I think it was.
It really was.
It was.
Yeah. And the thing is that the original idea that you had at that point for your book, that's not the same book.
It's very not the same book.
So what happened?
So I've been training people how to use LinkedIn for several years, and I have a huge spreadsheet, Word doc, Google Doc actually, full of all my stuff that I teach. And I've got spreadsheets and I've got slides and all kinds of things. And I thought, great, I'll just get all of those and I'll put them into a book, How to Do LinkedIn for a small business owner. And then I thought, nah, that's too easy. I'm going to challenge myself. In fact, that wasn't really it. The reason I chose to write about employee advocacy on LinkedIn is because I started to move in that world, and I started to, had already started working with companies and helping them get on LinkedIn and use LinkedIn using their employees. I didn't even know it had a name. I didn't even know it was called employee advocacy. I just kind of thought, this makes sense. Let's use the personal profiles of the employees to increase the reach of the message on the company page, because company pages don't get great reach on LinkedIn. Then I came across the term employee advocacy and thought, oh, I like that. And so I decided that was what my book was going to be about.
Yeah, and I remember that we had a long talk about how important it is when you write an expert book to position yourself as an expert in your industry. That's definitely the definition of an expert book. How important it is that you have something that is novel and new. And I think that's where the idea also started to grow, that maybe it was time to introduce more people to employee advocacy.
Absolutely, yes, because there are a lot of books how to do LinkedIn, and most of them are out of date the minute they're published. Not the whole book, but sections of the book, because LinkedIn changes all the time.
Yes.
So hence this idea to talk about something different and something new, because there, at that time, there was one other book on employee advocacy, and I don't think it's even in print anymore. So I thought, great, this is my niche. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to own this space and write about employee advocacy, because now is the time.
Yeah.
Because people don't sell in the same way that they used to. People don't want to be sold to.
No.
They want to have relationships with people. They want to build those relationships with people, and then that sales process kind of happens much more organically. And that's what employee advocacy is about. And since lockdown, LinkedIn has changed beyond recognition. It's become a much more friendly place. It's become a much more conversational platform. It's not about whacking people over the head with a sales message, folks. Stop doing that if you are doing that. It's about building relationships, and it's about using the people within the organizations and giving them a voice. And that's what employee advocacy is. And we're seeing it more and more. And that's why I wanted to write about it.
And I think also it's a new expectation that employees have for their employer, that they don't want to be invisible. And they are active on LinkedIn. When I first got on LinkedIn, maybe 20 years ago, it was to have my resume there and to be visible for a potential new job. But I never, ever opened my account and posted anything. And actually, yesterday, I saw an account where it said, this person hasn't posted yet. I cannot remember the last time I saw that on anyone's account. So they are active there.
Yeah.
So we've got to embrace that.
Yeah, absolutely. And empower them to use the platform better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose some employees can also be unsure of how is it okay that I use the platform. So they actually need their employer's guidance.
Yes, and they need their permission. Because for many years we've been told, no social media at work, get off your phone, do this. And now here am I going into companies saying, yes, get your phone out, get on LinkedIn, get on your social media. And for an employer to give their employees the permission to do that is a really positive thing. And it's a complete mindset change.
It is. So if anyone listening to this or watching this are sitting with questions about what is employee advocacy, you are very welcome to post all of your questions. So we're doing a bit of Q&A. We want to engage with you as well. But I do want to take a little bit of a step back, Sarah. So this wasn't the original idea, but people might then sit there thinking, well, so you won't tell us how to use LinkedIn then? Oh, what? You're still gonna be quite you're quite specific in how you instruct in the book.
Am I?
Yeah.
Is that good? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just showing Marlena under the covers.
No, you cannot reveal it yet.
No, okay, I'm not revealing it yet. It's here, but it's going to sit there. I'm just seeing if there are any questions. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Lisa, for the title. Anyway, we won't go there. So what was the question? I got slightly distracted as I did, because I'm quite excited.
I'm going back to that it wasn't the original idea, but you came up with this instead. So that was kind of one thing that happened in the process. But what else did you learn in the process?
Oh my gosh, I learned a lot about me, which I didn't expect to learn, and about how I think and how I work. And as far as a process is concerned, it's a really valuable process to go through. You have to be so disciplined and organized, which I'm not hugely. So I learned a lot about myself and how I work with myself. So that was quite good. And I don't want to go too deeply into that because it can get very emotional. I learned the thing about writing a book, and I've spoken to other people actually about this as well, is because you're showing yourself as an expert, however much knowledge you have about your subject, there's always more. There's always more to learn. So I spent a lot of time researching, looking at metrics, looking at statistics to justify the process and justify what I was doing. And in that process, I learned about my craft in a much deeper way. And I read case studies and I read different books and different views of employee advocacy and company culture, because that's also a big part of it. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what I was writing about. Yeah. And it was a fantastic process.
It is something that I see among all of the authors that I work with, that you get, it's quite, maybe simply because sometimes we're busy. We're busy in our businesses. And sometimes we need to take that time also to go deeper. And we don't need to do that every week. But when we have these bigger projects, we kind of get forced a little bit into doing so. And from that comes also quite often not sometimes even a change in the expert model people are recommending, or in the process they are using, but even more a deeper understanding on why it's done this way.
Yeah, you're right, actually. And the more I wrote about it and the more I learned about it, the more I realized this is incredible. Employee advocacy is such an incredible tool for companies to use. And that became obviously I knew it was a great tool. That's why I started writing about it. And that's why I've been teaching it and talking about it. But the more I learned about it, the more I thought, gosh, this is an absolute no-brainer for every single company.
And that's a good segue. Why? What are the key advantages of employee advocacy let's start with the companies and then circle back to the employees.
So for the company, it's the thing about LinkedIn, the way it works, and obviously I'm using my hands as I always do. We have a company page, which kind of sits nicely in the corner, and companies pay a lot of money, for their marketing departments or an external social media agency or marketing agency to create amazing content. And that's great. And that's how it should be. But it kind of sits there quite quietly in the corner of LinkedIn. And not many people see company pages, even if they're following them. The content doesn't come into their feeds in the same way that content on personal profiles comes into our feeds. So to use the employees to literally get that content and spread it using their personal profiles all over LinkedIn and create this hub and this network of information, like it's like a spider's web almost, all these different employees going out. And I've got a couple of clients I can see in the audience, and you can see it working. And that's one of the reasons to use this. And of course, one other reason is you can't really outreach using a company page. You physically, yes, now that you can comment on posts as a company, but do people want that? Do people want a company to be commenting on their post, or do they want somebody in the company to comment on their post? Somebody that they can actually have a proper conversation with. And I think it's personalizing the company page and the company message by sending out your employees on LinkedIn. And as I always say, LinkedIn is the biggest networking party in the world. It's open 24 hours a day, every single day of the week, even Christmas Day. So why aren't the employees going out there and attending that networking party and speaking to people? It's crazy that they're not.
Yeah. And it's not just for the more direct sales opportunities. How does it impact the company itself?
So this has been really interesting. So many years ago, when I was running social media for pubs, mostly in London, I started this system, which I didn't realize was called employee advocacy, of getting the staff members using their personal Instagrams, as it was at the time, to promote the events and things that were happening in the pubs. And that was great, and definitely more engagement and increased sales were clear, really, really clear. But what also started to happen was that it became a sort of fun thing within the company that people were doing. So, and it became a bit competitive, and we gamified it, and we gave prizes, bottles of vodka to the most engaged post that month, kind of thing. And it became a fun event. And what I noticed happening, the pubs that were doing it, their relationships with between the staff became better, and it kind of shifted the whole culture within the pubs. And now I'm using it, helping people use it on LinkedIn. I see the same thing happening. So people are commenting on the company page posts, they're commenting on each other's posts, and they're having more touch points with their colleagues, particularly companies who work remotely. And there are so many people out there who have never met their colleagues face to face because of the way that we're working remotely now.
Yeah.
And this is one way that people can stay in touch with each other really effortlessly.
And I suppose also attracting new employees, you can get a sense of what's this company like. When you see two employees from a company talking together in a fun way, or they exchange information, or they have like a positive approach to their work colleagues, we want to work there, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Because I bet that at least 20%, if not more, of the people watching are quietly job hunting, just looking around, looking at other companies, seeing what's going on in their industry, and looking for maybe their next opportunity. And if they see a company where the employees are talking to each other, having a nice time, engaging with the company, where the CEO may comment on the intern's post on LinkedIn, which is something I definitely encourage, they're like, wow, I want to go and work there. I want to work in that company because it looks great and everybody looks really happy. It's not just about table tennis tables, is it? Company culture.
No.
It's much more than that.
It's definitely about the conversations happening there. Yeah. And then on LinkedIn happening there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So which companies is this for? Is it for any industry, any size? Who's it for?
Yeah, honestly, it's for any company. If you've got 2 employees, if there are 2 of you, you can both go out on LinkedIn, use your personal profiles to support each other and support the company page. So it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship where the employees support the company page and the company page supports the employees as well. But companies of thousands can do this. Companies of 2 can do this for sure.
Yeah. And for the employees, why would they want to take part in this?
Oh, wow. So I'm faced with employees going, I haven't got time, I don't see the point, I don't get it. So my big word is empower. There's no way that you would want to force any employee to be going out on LinkedIn and doing this and making them do it, because it just isn't going to work. If somebody's being got a whip over them saying, you've got to post on LinkedIn, off you go, it's not going to work. They're not going to enjoy the process. The post will not be created very well, and their reluctance will show. So by empowering employees to do it and teaching them and helping them through the process, but initially, yes, you're right, explaining to them the advantages to them.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. So if employees are going out on LinkedIn talking about their company, for a start off, it shows that they're loyal to their company and they're a great employee. So potential future hires may be in the offing. But what it does, it opens doors for them as individuals.
Also inside their current company.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Inside the company too.
Yeah.
If the CEO, or the, people from the C-suite see employees going out on LinkedIn and talking about the company, they're going to get rewarded for that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But things like they're talking about their expertise within the company and they're showing their thought leadership, if you like, and they can get invited onto podcasts, they get invited to speak at events, they get invited to contribute to articles, to write books. All of these personal branding opportunities will start to come in and start happening for the employees as they're stepping out onto LinkedIn.
Well, which basically means they can dive deeper into their expertise as well, and also get more recognition and increase their value to the company they're currently in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, Sarah, do you want? Do I want? Before you reveal it, I want to ask you about what is some of the experiences. What is the experience of having a book coming out so far?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not even published yet. What I have here is it's a proof, which arrived this morning. And it nearly didn't. So we were nearly, not having to run this today. But it's just a proof. And already the knock-on effects of this have been huge. The first thing, and I want to thank all of you guys for showing up here, is the support from my network has been incredible throughout the whole process, because I have kind of splurged about it quite a lot on LinkedIn from when I started, and when I had a wobble halfway through and couldn't even go into the document and go, oh, I can't do it. And then, put my big girl pants on and out I came out the other end, thanks to you, Marlena. And I've talked about it and all the funny processes, and people have supported me along the way. The other thing that's happened is I am now being recognized as an expert in this area without actually trying. I'm not running around telling people, because the book and talking about the book is doing that job for me.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It's an incredible process.
Yeah, and it isn't even out yet.
No, I know.
But I do think is that anyone sitting out there thinking about writing a book, talking about it, and getting both for the accountability, but also for the support, and for also because it's great content, isn't it? Also for the LinkedIn, talk about your book, don't hide it, and have quite often authors get this, they get hit quite early on by imposter syndrome, and they don't want to tell anyone until the book is done. Yeah. So
yeah, no.
That's
not the way I roll. Somebody in the audience, I just want to say, has said that they have just been tasked with starting an employee advocacy program at their company. Yeah, so the book's for you. Yeah. The book, Joanne Sola, the book is for you. You need this book. But we'll talk about that shortly.
Yeah. Was there any more questions?
Let me have a look. There's just some amazing comments. Never regretted writing my book.
Yes.
Yes to writing a book. This is so exciting. Congratulations. Oh, just some lovely, lovely comments. Such a great title. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, just some really lovely comments. But yeah, if you've got any questions, chuck them in. Chuck them in there.
Yeah.
If you don't mind watching me peer at my screen.
So what is the title and subtitle?
Okay.
And then
I'm going to have to read this bit. Okay. So the title is The Way I Teach, the way I encourage all of my students, clients to use LinkedIn is to be very Ronseal. Now, some of you may not know what this means, and some of you will know what it means, but not know where it came from. So Ronseal was a paint manufacturer back in the 70s in the UK, and they used to have these adverts that were very straight talking. And they would have a tin at the end of the ad, which would slam down on the table, and it would say, Ronseal, it does what it says on the tin. And go to YouTube and have a look. Once you've got the book, obviously. So I am very much about clear messaging, and because people scroll so quickly through LinkedIn, if we're not being clear with our messaging, people will not read it. They just don't have the time, and it's not the mindset either of people on LinkedIn.
Mm.
So the book is called Employee Advocacy on LinkedIn. Ta-da! It does what it says on the book cover.
Yeah. Yeah, and the subtitle.
And the subtitle, I have to read this bit. I'm going to hold it high. So, how to use LinkedIn to build a thriving company culture, which is what we have talked about, empower your team, and grow your business. Yay! I'll never remember that. So that is the title and the subtitle.
So what do people actually get in the book?
What do they get in the book? Oh, good question. They get lots of words. There aren't many pictures. There are some, which I might show you. But it's a lot of words. It's a lot of very easy step-by-steps. But what they actually get is a description and a breakdown of what employee advocacy is, because I think it's important to really make it clear to people what it is and kind of what it isn't as well. They get a really clear idea of how to get started with a system of employee advocacy, starting with the whole piece to talk to the employees. And I think I've got 13, I can't remember, ways in which employees benefit from using this system. And it's just full of ideas and tips and tricks and how to take it slowly, where to push a bit, how to encourage the employees once they've got started, and how to maintain the system and keep it going once it's going.
And also what not to do, what might go wrong is obviously also covered.
Yes.
What are the pitfalls? Where can you go wrong? Yeah. And what is it that will actually make the program successful?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is also a section on company pages, because that's where kind of everything springs from, is from a company page. So there is a little bit in there about setting up a company page, creating content, and there's some content ideas and tips and tricks there as well. That's a lot.
Yes,
in a little book.
A lot. Now I am thinking, how about a countdown?
I don't know what to show you.
Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it?
Do you want to see the book? Do you want to see the book? Come on, let's in the chat. Who wants to see the book? There's always a delay. Who wants to see the book? So I did a post, didn't I? Did you see my post?
Yes. Dear Lord.
I got told off.
Yeah, you got told off. And I did not say a thing. I zipped it. But luckily, I had a better idea than those covers that you
So I like playing around in Canva.
Yeah.
Let's see it. I love this. Yes, let's see it. Let's see it.
And the funny thing was there were quite a lot of comments on that post where you gave you asked people of their opinion about which cover should I choose. Lots of comments.
Yeah.
And there was one who actually made the effort. I don't remember who it was.
Was it Ryan?
I don't remember the name, but there was one who actually came up with a proposal of what it should look like.
Ryan Anderson. It was the wonderful Ryan Anderson. I don't know if you're here, Ryan, but the wonderful Ryan Anderson went and did an AI, sort of played around on AI to design me a cover.
Yeah. And what was so funny was that is quite similar to the one we had designed for each part of the book. So it was already in the book, more or not exactly the same, but it was quite close. It was definitely the same style. And for me, it was just confirmation. We definitely must have hit Sarah's style then.
But not designed by me. No way.
No, you always need a professional book designer. We cannot have homemade in a professional branding book. No. So 10.
9.
8. In the comments.
7. 6. 5. 4.
3, 2, 1.
It's the book. I got it. There it is. It's orange, but no, not purple. There it is. And what's amazing, you can't really see, but it is kind of different colours of orange. It's kind of a bit bleached out on StreamYard, but there is the book. And I'm going to show the back as well.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And the back has got a lovely endorsement from my very good friend Mick Adam, who many of you will know on LinkedIn. And he read the book before. I gave him a sneaky peeky, and he wrote me a lovely endorsement. And there's a bit about me. So 542 Catherine. But what's interesting is what Marlena suggested is that the spine is blue. It's LinkedIn blue, which isn't my colour at all, but there's a little bit of orange at the bottom.
Yeah, we need the recognition, and it's also the LinkedIn icons actually on the front cover, and it's the like, the comment, and what is the other one? The heart.
These, yeah, I love these.
So without there are rules for how you can use the LinkedIn brand as well, and we've definitely avoided getting near what's not what's not allowed. But you need the recognition that this is actually a LinkedIn book. So that combined with brand colors is a really good way of designing a brand book.
But we did have an issue with using the word LinkedIn in the title, because LinkedIn don't like you to use their word. So you probably can't see it, but we had to put the "la" on there. And you can't lead with the word LinkedIn. So we couldn't have done LinkedIn and employee advocacy. LinkedIn, the word LinkedIn has to come later. That's one of their rules.
Yeah, it must not appear as if it came from them. That's really also what it's about.
They are popular there.
Yeah. Oh, looks good on your account.
Do you look at it? Yeah. If only this was a proper bookshop, not just a pitch. But I'll pop it there. Where can we buy it?
Yeah.
Now I've made a mistake. I haven't put on my banner. I haven't put the banner. So if you'll bear with me, Marlene, you talk while I just type the web address in here.
So what do you want me to talk about?
Talk about the process of working with me on my book and how naughty I was.
Yeah, you were naughty, but it's not different from what happens is that when you write a book, there's a lot of emotions going on because it's vulnerable. Yeah. It's something that's going to get on print and it's going to stay out there on people's bookshelves for years, which is why you should write it. But it's also something that is quite common that during the writing process, almost any author has this moment where it gets scary. And it comes again at just right before the launch quite often. You didn't have that actually. You've just been excited about the launch. Yeah. But right at that point, it's quite common as well. But imposter syndrome, no, a cousin of imposter syndrome, because it's not imposter syndrome. It's just that it is a huge thing. And I shouldn't even call it imposter syndrome because it's quite often also about having this achieved. It's a huge dream for many people to write a book. Yeah. And it's emotional that it's finally out there. And in a business like yours, Sarah, it is one of the most important things you can ever do for your business. It's a long-term asset. And it's really not about the reception, the book reception, or it's about how you can use your book in your business going forward. And I think it's all of that opportunity that you also experienced these past few weeks, that has already presented itself. That's just a small sign of what may come afterwards. And that's just emotional.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, one thing we haven't mentioned was we're self-published here. So we don't have a publisher. And when I first was thinking about writing a book, I didn't know whether to have a publisher or whatever. And I did speak to a publisher and they wanted me to pay them a lot of money to publish my book. I was like, no way. Yeah. So we have self-published, as you'll see, because that says CC under there, which is curly comms.
And I must say, it is in real life and not on the screen. It is actually more beautiful.
It is much prettier than that. So self-publishing again, and all of these different things like an ISBN number we had to, and how to order it on Amazon, and how to, oh gosh, there's a lot more to writing a book than writing a book, I can tell you. And I promise you guys, I am going to sell Marlena here, because I could not have done this without you. None of it. I couldn't have started, and I couldn't be sitting here today. So thank you. She's come over from Copenhagen to sit on my purple sofa, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. I always wanted to sit on your sofa.
Somebody's asked a question. Oh, Sarah, lovely Sarah Stones. How does it feel to have it finished? So thank you. Great question. It feels amazing. But you know what? I've missed something out in the book. I've realized there's a bit that I wish I'd written about, which I haven't written about in the book. But you have to get to a point where you say stop. And that, otherwise I'd still be writing it now, and I'd still be doing it. But it feels amazing. It's such an achievement. And to hold it in my hands, it's like having a baby again, you know, and my baby's nearly 18. So, you know, my youngest one. So it is, and it's mine. It's it's all me. Nobody has told me what to write. Nobody has censored it or controlled it. And that's again about self-publishing. And I feel so proud of myself for going through this process, I have to say.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that now I'm going to give you a heart attack. It's quite common that after a little while, people want to write a second book.
No, I have. I've got it. Yeah, it's in here. I know exactly what that's going to be.
Yeah, that's a funny thing, because it happens almost every time that there's just more you want to say. Yeah. There's just more you want to say, and more you could say. But it is also so that if you only publish that one book, and you think of something that you could have put in the book, from a strategic point of view, you don't want to put everything in the book. So I'm talking to anyone now who is considering launching a book or writing a book, that be strategic about the journey that you're taking the reader on as well. And you're going to need more content. You're going to need to talk about it on LinkedIn. So all of that supporting material is super important to have still.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing not having put everything in the book. You should be quite considerate about that.
So the link to buy the book is there. Yes. I hope nobody minds that I called the landing page "Buy Sarah's Book." See, this is live. There I am, literally typing this in, because this is a live show and things always go wrong, and who cares, because it's live, and that's what makes it fun. Please let me know if that link doesn't work, because I actually haven't tested it. Lisa Kennedy, she's put it in there. Buy set. Yes, I think hopefully it's right. But there's a but, ladies and gentlemen. You are only able to buy the book directly from me, because this is me, and I'm going to be putting it in the envelope with a handwritten note and maybe some chocolate, and also a discount for my 1 day LinkedIn in a day 1 day event in London on July the 5th. And you get a 10% off that 1 day event if you buy the book from me, only until July the 1st. And then I'm going to close the sales, and then you'll have to wait until October before it comes out on Amazon. So if you want it, you better get in there quick. Yes. And it's only available now in the UK, because I really cannot be paying for shipping overseas. If anybody is overseas and they really want the book, then DM me on LinkedIn and we'll sort something out. But yeah, so buy it now. You get handwritten note from me. You get 10% off my LinkedIn in a day course on July the 5th, and you'll get a chocolate.
And they get a fantastic book.
And a fantastic book.
Congratulations on your book, Sarah.
Thank
well
you.
Done. Well so done.
Much. Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite an achievement. I'm just checking. Will I have a book reading? Lisa, yes, I will be doing a book reading. So in October, when it's properly out, I'll do a proper launch, another launch, and I'll be doing a reading then. I will also be having events in London and possibly in other parts of the country as well, I'm thinking, where I'll be in person launching the book as well. There'll definitely be a launch at Homegrown Members Club and the Dally Members Club in Islington, and possibly other places as well. So, and if anybody would like me to come into their company and read from the book, I'm really happy to do that as well. So please DM me on LinkedIn if you'd like me to come in and talk to your guys at your company about this too.
So those are a few ways to support Sarah. But as your book coach, I also want to mention that what is going to happen now is going to be PR, podcasts, lots of any ideas of who or connections that you can help Sarah with to get that visibility for the book is obviously more than welcome.
Oh,
yeah, this is what
we haven't rehearsed that.
No, we haven't. But no, I did it in your BNI the other day as well.
Thank you. I wasn't there.
No, this is what is super important now. It is only you have your audience on LinkedIn, but we want to get those new connections who have another reach as well. So PR opportunities, we want that now.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yes, brilliant. So thanks, guys. Gosh, we've been here nearly 45 minutes. Some lovely messages, and I'm, and I know some of you people here have also written books, so I'm sure you know the traumas and the joys of writing a book, and the doors that can open because of that.
I see somebody is asking if I'm Danish. I am. Yes. I am usually in Copenhagen or somewhere out in the world. I'm a part-time digital nomad, so I'm in many places.
Yeah.
This month in the UK.
Yeah, all right. So please head over to the landing page, buy the book, buy the book. Yes, buy the book. Here it is. You can get one in your mitts and you can read it. It's not huge. It's 100 and something pages, not quite 200, I don't think, is it? But yeah, please buy the book. I'd love you to buy the book and tell me what you think about it as well.
Maybe even buy a bunch for your team so you can start the process in your company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to play it out with some music because as I do, yay, straight talking. Absolutely, Annette. Always, as you know me. Annette is also Danish. So then we go.
Yes, I realized on the first name.
Yes. Annette is different. Right, hang on. Let me do, where is the music? So we're going to play out to my music. And thanks so much, everybody, for coming. And I look forward to posting the book right to you. Okay?
Can we dance again? We
can dance. Everybody dance! All right.